Hello there, Larrys. It is I, the vicious scumbag.
And across from him, it is me, your honorable sensei.
And together, we are Longturnlarry Podcast. And we are bringing you a deck tech.
We're decking them out.
This is your favorite folklore hero turned into an incredible female cow duo. It's Bonny, Pall, Clearcutter.
She be cutting grass.
She about to cut down deforestation.
Yosemite grass cutter.
This is the Simic duo you didn't know you needed.
This is the Rolf and the goat of magic.
Oh man, it is. Ralph is Bonny, and the goat is the beautiful Beau. You're gonna chomp them down. This is a Lands Matters deck. So what is Bonny, Pall, Clearcutter? We have a 3 colorless green, blue for a 6/5 giant scout with reach. When Bonny, Pall, Clearcutter enters the battlefield, create Beau, a legendary blue ox creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control.
And then?
That's a big old cow. Then, whenever you attack, draw a card, and then you may put a land card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield.
So we're going to ramp.
Oh yeah, this is Simic good stuff meets ramp, and more ramp.
So Simic stuff.
Yeah, it's so basic, basic. Lee, we're about to go get all the basics.
Okay, let's start with Souza. Lost but seeking her cow.
Oh man.
She can put 3 lands.
Beautiful.
3, all 3 of them. I need all 3 of them.
Next one here, we're gonna give you the top 5. And then if you'd like to see the rest, come on over to Moxfield, looking up LTL, Longturnlarry, baby. We got Besoju Reaches Skyward. 3 colorless and a green for Enchantment Saga. The first part lets you search for 2 forests, put them into your hand. Second chapter, you put up to 1 land card from your graveyard on top of your library. And then the third and final is you exile it and flip it, and it turns into Branch of Besoju, a reach +1/+1 for each land you control. It's pretty much Beau and Bonny combined. And it's another thing. So it goes and gets you lands and then makes you a pseudo Beau.
We also have the spectacular Eureka moment.
Oh man, yes.
Think about it twice. It's a 2 colorless green and a blue. You can draw 2 cards, and then after you draw 2 cards, you can put a land onto the battlefield.
Next, the lesser of that, we have Growth Spiral. For just Simic, green and the blue, you have an instant that says draw a card and put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Honorable, what would you say is the final top 5?
The final top fizzle. It is Intis Restoration. Is 2 colorless and a green for an instant. Sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, we always will.
Beau.
Instead, search your library up to 3 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
This is awesome. Also, that sacrifice a land thing, not that big of a deal. We can get that land back very easily.
Get it back in green?
Get it back in tree. So that is ramp, which is probably the most important and largest section of this deck. If you want to see the rest of it, there's 22 cards in total for this category. All of them very, very good. If there's a card you expected to hear but didn't see, it's probably in the list. Next, we're going to go over things to where, what are we doing with all these lands? Let's go with Landfall. So I'm going with my top 5 here. I think one of the goats for this deck is going to be Tatiova Benthic Druid. 3 colorless green-blue for a 3/3 Merfolk Druid that states whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. This is going to pad your life total, and we need that card draw, and this gives us incentivizes us to keep playing more lands.
I'm going to talk about the real best card. It's Kodama the East Tree.
Oh, so good.
4 colors, green for a legendary spirit. He's a 6/6. He's got reach for those pesky flyers. When another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana costs from your hand until the battlefield. And also as partner if you,
Oh, yeah.
you're into partnering up.
It's still just good on its own. And explain to the Larry at home in layman's terms what makes Kodama so good.
So Kodama's very good by itself. When you put down a land, oh, look at that. I have another land in my hand I get to put down for free.
Oh, yeah, because lands don't cost any mana.
Right. And also whenever you have any of your other creature producers off Landfall, you can put lands into play from those creatures. Making more creatures.
Making more creatures to then make more landfall.
It's just an excellent card.
This brings us to, I have to talk about it then. The pairing piece, if you will, the other half of this Kodama of the East Tree combo. You got Rampaging Baloths. 4 colorless green for also a 6/6. It's going to be a reoccurring theme here. With trample that states whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token. So here's an example of this combo. You have both Kodama and Rampaging out. You play a land. Rampaging goes, ooh yay, a land. Here's a 4/4 beast. Kodama then says, ooh yay, you played something. Let me give you something for free. So then you get to play this next land. But then a Baloth came in, and then Kodama goes, oh, cool, something entered. And you see the cycle here, and then it repeats over and over until you have no lands in hand.
Yeah, Kodama is like McDonald's back in the day. You gonna get this BOGO.
Oh, yeah. This is the deal of the century.
The next card, which, is the auto-included in your landfall shenanigans. We got the Lotus Cobra.
Oh, man. The snake that is the goat.
Orochimaru of mana. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color.
I just want your body, Sasuke. No, this is one of those cards that we, shout out to our previous episodes, had talked about that is only good if you have multiple lands triggering in. Do not play Lotus Cobra if you do not plan on playing lands. But when you are a lands matters deck, so much extra mana.
Yeah, you got 25 lands. Keep playing Lotus Cobra. See what happens.
And my final for the Landfall category here is Royal Elemental. 3 colorless blue for a 3/2 flying elemental that states whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain control of target creature for as long as you control Royal Elemental. This deck does not have a bunch of removal. It doesn't really need it because you are a very big cow and most things aren't bigger than you. But this is nice to get rid of those pesky, weird board state items.
It's a lightning rod. Like, this thing will get killed.
Yes.
Immediately. So you maybe probably want to play out sort of like a Kodama first if you're really trying to stick this Royal. And then if they kill the Kodama, you come down next turn, play the Royal. Now they're royally screwed.
So we did Landfall, but we need things that care about lands. And that what I mean is how Beau cares about lands. So Beau cares about how many you have. So we're going to keep on that theme because we want, or we're going to have played almost all of the lands in this deck. So it's going to be very common that you're going to run out of lands, which is good, but just keep that in mind. We want things that care about lands. So up first, this one is arguably one of my favorite cards in this deck. It has consistently played well in it. Black Blade Reforged. 2 colorless for a legendary equipment that says equip creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Equip legendary creature for 3, equip normally for 7. Well, lucky for us, our cow is legendary. So this really translates to play it for 2, equip it for 3, and double Beau's power.
You always gotta have a giant, nasty plant beast in your back pocket. My favorite go-to is Cultivator Colossus. 4 colorless, green, green, green for a plant beast star. We don't know what his power and toughness is yet.
Oh, you about to find out.
Find out. He got trample. Cultivator Colossus power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever he ETBs, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card, repeat the process. Do you want to play every land in your entire deck? Start this off with a bounce land. Mm-hmm. And then another bounce land. And then another bounce land.
I did not know this, but this was brought to us by our shared pupil. Listen here, Longturnlarry. I'm disgusted and so proud. Yeah, bounce land plus Cultivator of Colossus equates to drawing out your whole deck and then eventually playing all your lands. This is you put it down and then you say, do you have a response? And if they say no, and you have that bounce land in your hand, it's pretty much game.
Oh no, you're a scumbag. You don't even ask. You just put this down, you look.
Yeah, are y'all paying attention?
Yeah. And then Beau comes out of nowhere with the elbow drop from the sky.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. It's a blue cow out of nowhere.
Help me.
Next, we have Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. 3 colorless green for a legendary elemental. That's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Another star creature. The best part about this is not only is it just like Beau and power and toughness, the second effect is incredible. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. This is going to turn everything into a forest. So now you have to imagine everything else on your board is going to count towards Beau's power. This makes for some really weird and cool interactions with the deck.
So would Beau eat herself? Because she's a forest now.
Beau would 100%.
Does this mean Bonny have to cut Beau in half?
Oh no. Please. We don't need this clear of a path.
Awaken the Woods. X green for sorcery. Create X 1/1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. You don't need to ramp. Traditionally, you could just play some dryads.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
That tap for mana.
Tap for mana and count towards your land amount. Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful creatures.
And the final to round it out, this one is one that I did not expect to like as much, but it has been consistent. Beanstalk Giant. 6 colorless and green for a asterisk star. Power and toughness giant that are equal to the number of lands you control. Again, this is another Beau. But what's very nice about this is it's a adventure card, which means you can play its sorcery first, which is called Fertile Footsteps, for 2 colorless and a green. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. Then you can cast Beanstalk Giant at any time later from exile. So this is like a free extra Beau.
That land comes in untapped, by the way.
Yes, it does.
By the by.
Yeah, this is it just fits everything that we're after, and it also gives us an extra Beau. You can think of Beanstalk as a plant cow.
All these plant creatures, I'll roll them up. So we're doing all this landfall, landy, shenanigans. I mean, like, man, get to the card draw. That's what
right.
I'm trying to do.
How
you gonna draw these cards? Well, our card draw package is not the biggest because our commander draws cards, but you know we need some extra, like Hunter's Prowess. Ooh, boy, this is an old nasty one. 4 colors and a green for a sorcery until end of turn. Target creature gets +3/+3, gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards.
Oh man, what's the key word there that's so good?
That many?
That many and trample. I don't know why Beau doesn't naturally have trample. It's a giant ox. I'm very surprised.
It's a gentle
giant
ox.
That's so true. It's a gentle
ox. It doesn't blow through trees. It nibbles.
It nibbles on the tops of them. Yeah, this has definitely turned into pay 5 mana, draw 20 cards.
And you send this at your resident red player because
they're
it's
filthy.
Beau.
They're filthy and deserve nothing less.
You know, they go crazy when they see red.
That's right. Next, we have Return of the Wild Speaker. 4 colorless and a green for an instant. Says choose one, but in reality, we're only after one, which is the top effect. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. This pretty much just translates into, for 5 mana, draw cards equal to the amount of lands you control. If that doesn't sound attractive, I don't know what is.
Unless you're red-blue, you know.
Right.
Pretty good effect. Last March of the Ants.
Oh.
6 colorless, green for a sorcery. This spell can't be countered. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dirty blue player. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness, booty, among creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
If a Shia is one of these creatures, things are about to get really gross really quick.
Yeah. Also, too, take into consideration that, again, you play this as, let's say you play it on turn 8, on theme. Most of the time, you're going to have at least 10 lands. It's cows to 10-10. You're pretty much getting a free, what is it, Galta? You're getting, it's like a free Galta at this point. You're pretty much getting an 8-drop at least. Like, no, this is one of the best cards in the deck. If there's any card that you guys get for your Bonny Pall deck or need to save up for, it is Last March of the Ants. This might be the #1 card in the deck.
Let's triple down on this.
We have to.
This booty.
We got Rich Car's Expertise. 4 colorless, green for a sorcery that says draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, and then you may cast a card with a spell with mana value 5 or less from your hand without paying its cost. So this pretty much gives you like a free little cascade and then does the exact same thing. Again, if you don't think paying 6 mana to draw 20 plus cards is not a good deal, you haven't played Bonny Pall.
Or you're a filthy blue player. And you don't like people to have
You're a
fun.
filthy blue player.
Wait, but we're in Simic. We're the filthy blue player.
Yeah, we are. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, that's me.
This deck doesn't really have a large amount of protection. I want to just cover this one briefly. The main reason behind it is you can always recast your commander. You're always going to have a bunch of mana, and it's most of the time you're going to eat removal, but it's to be expected. So we have the very honest and easy include Swiftfoot Boots. This could easily be Lightning Greaves. Insert equipable hexproof haste enable. Ta-da! It does the job correct. We're just trying to protect Bonny because Beau can easily be brought back by flickering Bonny, and Bonny has an attack trigger, so we can swing other things. So we really want to protect Bonny.
We got Seraph the Viper Fang, just an MVP card that I always put in like a deck or two. Just like shows up like, hey, you need to be protected. 2 colorless, green for a 3/4 human warlock. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch.
It's nice.
Big creature don't need death touch.
Doesn't need it.
Okay, I guess. Other untapped creatures you control have hexproof.
There it is. Ugh, so good.
And then you can pay 1 to tap this, untap target creature or land you control.
Yeah, easy. Just good blink. I agree. This is an MVP card. I'm surprised it's under $1 too.
I'm not.
Really?
Because I see it a lot.
Yeah, it's true. I have personally pulled a bunch.
I think I have like 6 of these things. And they're all in decks.
Yeah, I know, but it's so true. They're in a lot of decks here. Next, remember how we said we were trying to, blink the old folklore girl? Well, Temur Sabertooth is how we're going to do this. This is probably the most honest Temur Sabertooth you will ever encounter. For 2 colorless green, we have every CDH player's favorite Flicker Cat. That's a 4/3 that states for a green and a colorless, you may return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, Temur Sabertooth gains indestructible until end of turn. This is mono greens, it's the GOAT. This thing breaks so many cards. But in this example, we're just using it to flicker Bonny to protect them, and then that also gets us a brand new Beau. So swing Beau freely, flicker Bonny later.
Keep her safe. Mm-hmm. Or if, Beau dies and we just need a new Beau.
Yeah, exactly. Just bring a new Beau back.
Arachnogenesis. I don't like it. Keep the spiders in the corner of your house and leave them alone. Unless they come out in the open, you squash them.
Yep, that's the deal. And they know that.
2 colorless and a green for an instant. Create X 1/2 green spider creature tokens with reach. Or ecstasy number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all combat damage that be dealt this turn by non-spider creatures. I hope you're not going against a Shelob when you cast the spell.
Oh, man.
Maybe you're happy because that deck sucks.
Shelob's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
This is just good because the only real threat that we have are go wide synergies, and we, just like any good old green deck, flying is a problem. So gaining reach and having a fog, this is like a pocket. This is just a good pocket pick.
It helps, when somebody tries to just crash hand on you, you're like, ha, fog plus spiders. Die
by the spider.
Die by the spider. Now, I know you're thinking, wait, guys, how you gonna kill people with this cow? It ain't got no trample. Well, here's some cards set aside specifically to give everything trample. We already mentioned Hunter Prowess. It's a 1-tricker. It only happens once. Sometimes all you need is 1.
Single bow strike.
The vicious cow bite.
Ow.
We also have Garrick's Uprising. 2 colors and a green. When Garrick's Uprising enters the battlefield under your control, creature... stupid. When Garrick's Uprising enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Ding, 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 ding. Yay! When a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, you draw a card. More card draw. Yay! Bonk 'em.
This card never fails to get you card draw in this deck. Everything is big. Everything cares about lands. This pretty much just translates into, for 3 mana, draw cards, and everything has trample now. It's wonderful. Garruk's Uprising is very good. If you can try to protect a card, it's this one. Next, Loxodon's Warhammer. Simple, sweet, easy fix to this problem. Gives you life padding and trample. 3 colorless for an equipment that has +3/+0 and has trample lifelink.
It's an oldie, but it's a goodie.
Yes, it is.
You have not made a card that's an equipment that gives you trample that's sort of better than this.
Yeah,
really,
for the cost, it's really cost effective.
Having lifelink is just
it's such a good cherry. It's a very good cherry on top.
Man, I really needed that.
And it didn't care about toughness, which is fine because it gives so much more. It gives it at least +3. It's not a weak equipment, to say the least.
Man, if it just gave trample and lifelink for a 1-drop 2 equip, I'd still be.
Oh man, like a basilisk collar, but on the trample side instead of the death touch side.
Yeah,
oh, that'd be really
we
cool.
need something like that.
Ooh, Loxodon's collar. Magic, hit me up. We couldn't also have. We talked about protection. We couldn't talk about removal as well. Blue green. Most of your removal is not what you expect it to be. So again, very small package here, but I feel like it gets the job done. Up first, everyone's favorite, Cyclonic Rift. Colorless in a blue for an instant, says return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. This card is never 2 mana. It's always 7. Overloaded. When you cast a spell, replace the text of from target to all. Pretty much just return everyone else's stuff. It's normally you win if no one counters.
Spit on them.
Moo at them.
Moo.
Moo.
We have a singular counter spell. I hate you for this.
I know.
Arcane Denial. Counter target spell. 1 colorless in the blue. This controller can draw up to 2 cards. During the next upkeep, you draw a card at the beginning of the next upkeep. Mind you, if they forget,
it is a May.
It is a May.
Don't remind them. It's not your job.
When you draw that card and it go to somebody, wait, I was supposed to.
You were supposed to what?
You were supposed to do what, son? That's how you up your percentage win points by like 2.
Exactly.
Just by not telling.
You know how you normally pester them saying you're going to pay for that? Just be like. Exactly.
Just put your hand on your deck and then draw your card as sly as possible.
Exactly.
Like you cheating, and then they go into
pretend they're a T-Rex.
Mine. I got mine. Do you get yours? Oh yeah.
What?
Sorry. Exactly. This is what this beats within is for. Prepare to die. Become a beast. Get your alpha male, sigma, omega grind set on. Become a 3/3 beast and die.
Yeah, this just helps us get rid of as a pesky permanent. It could be anything. That's the nice part about this. Could have been a red and the blue equivalent, but We got Crow's Hand Grip, our final. 2 colorless and a green for a split second instant, which is a nice extra text. But the real purpose of this is to get rid of an artifact or enchantment.
It's gone.
And it's gone right now.
You can't counter it, man. You can't do that.
I was talking with Honorable about this, and I believe that Honorable is one of the better deck designers that I've ever encountered. And he has a very good job of building redundancy. Now, I'm going to tell you this for the Larrys at home. I have tried to emulate this, and I will admit I feel it is one of the best things to do if you want your deck to consistently play. You put in what's called redundancies. So, what is a redundancy for a blue cow and a lumberjack that's taller than life? Recursion. We can play lands from the graveyard, so we don't necessarily need these things, but having them really does make the deck go a lot faster. So we have Recursion for our lands and other cards here. Starting off with everyone's favorite and probably the most notable, Crucible of Worlds. 3 colorless for an artifact that states you may play land cards from the graveyard.
Wait, that's it?
That's it.
Why this more like $30?
Because they won't reprint it except for Fallout. I think it's the only other reprint I can think of.
I got mine. You got yours?
I did.
Conduit of World. See, we're not going to reprint it. We're just going to make another one.
It's
2 colors, green. You may play lands from your graveyard.
Nice.
Choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. They really, really only wanted you to cast one spell if you use this. They're just like, nah, son.
I mean, it's cool. like, thank you, like, thank you for the spell. But yeah, that you shouldn't be using that.
If you're desperate, you
Yes.
know, you let your commander go to the graveyard and then you conduit it and ruins it the next turn.
Yeah,
You're like, ha
It's got enough commander tax on it that is applicable. You are doing everything right to be able to have Bonny dead that many times.
Why is your opponent displaying black kill spells?
Murder. Tragic slip.
Sounds like something I would
Road
do.
fall. Doomblade. Go for throat.
Leave my cow alone.
Please. Please. Please.
Ancient green warden. He is green. I don't like him. 4 colorless green for an elemental. He's got reach. You may play lands for your graveyard. Oh, he did it again.
He did
We
it
hit him
again.
with the 3-for. If a land entering the battlefield calls a trigger ability of a permanent you control, ability triggers an additional time. How many times have you seen that text on recent cards?
Oh, man. If you guys aren't sick of it yet, don't worry. They'll print it again.
Hey, remember that Panharmonicon? What if we made a Panharmonicon that was like a Panharmonicon of like Panharmonicons?
Wait.
If an ability would trigger an additional time,
What if we made it trigger
triggers
again?
Oh man, I'm waiting for that card. You know they're gonna make it in like
They have to.
2025.
They're gonna make ETB the commander. We promise the extra trigger commander is
There's
coming.
extra trigger
Yeah,
commander.
the extra.
5 color extra trigger commander.
And you just play all of them and then have nothing that ETBs.
You know that meme of that girl screaming when Hillary lost? They're just gonna get a picture of her and paint it on the card.
It's exactly right. Next is Eternal Witness. Colorless green for a 2/1 human shaman. When it enters the battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand.
Nice and sweet. Give it back.
Let me run that back.
Nah, give me back. You ain't kill it. Give it back.
Ewit, or Eternal Witness here, combined with Team or Sabretooth, lets you flicker this and get multiple things back. Very nice little combo.
Splendid Reclamation. If somebody happens to like destroy all your lands somehow,
Or if you mill very badly or get milled.
it's here. Bring them back.
Bring it in.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Well, I didn't know you were actually going to Recursion. I thought like the best replacement for a giant cow was a giant snake. Yeah, this is the Simic good stuff, even though only one of these are Simic.
I know. But it's the 2 good stuffs.
3. Coma, World Serpent, 3 colorless, green, blue for a snake.
Snick.
He's a 6/6. He can't be countered because screw you, blue player. Sometimes red or white player.
Yeah, right?
Weird.
Yeah, put that away.
Stop.
Stop it.
At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 3/3 blue serpent creature token named Coma's Coil. You can sacrifice another serpent. Choose one. Tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated. Ooh. Or you can sacrifice it. Coma becomes indestructible. You know, that's fair and balanced.
He's so good. If you guys haven't played against a Coma Cosmos Serpent,
Everybody has, and
Oh,
everybody hates it. This thing resolves, and you're like,
please.
hey, do we have removal right now?
Like right now, before this gets out of control, please.
Before it gets to like somebody's upkeep, can we kill him right now?
Yeah, he doesn't need to get a coil so that he can instantly start he's indestructible. Ugh. He had to be included. It's such a weird thing to play because it's almost like you play. It just helps you go wide. It's just good.
Have you ever seen the video of the cow eating the snake?
That's what happens to Coma when he disobeys. Next, we have one that I didn't anticipate liking as much in this deck. Thassa's Deep Dwelling. 3 colorless and a blue for a legendary enchantment creature god. 6/5 with indestructible. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, it isn't a creature. It says at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target creature you control, and then return that card to the battlefield under your control. And then for 3 colorless and a blue, you may tap another target creature. The point here is we can constantly get new bows.
We can constantly tap people's creatures.
Yes, we can also constantly tap people's creatures
We have
too.
enough mana that we can just tap all your blockers. That's what this is in here for. Don't even think about blinking your ETB things.
Who needs ETBs when Beau can knock them down?
Exactly. Who needs ETBs when they can't block?
You can't block the moo. What's the final card?
It looks like a water land. Wait, what?
See?
What is that?
See, it is Simic.
Genesis Wave. Ooh. Get off my wave. Ooh.
Don't snake my wave.
Like Taylor Swift and all her Swifties doing the wave at the Super Bowl was terrible. Never do it again.
So much cringe.
So much cringe. X green. The 4 sorcery. Reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of those permanent cards with mana value X or less onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into your graveyard. Yeah, we're gonna do like X equals 27.
Yep. Yeah, you can
and then you're
easily
gonna do a
drop it.
lot of math. You're
This is such an easy just if you're ever running a bunch of mana or can produce a bunch of mana, always remember to at least like a X spell, a mana dump. You should have at least one, just one. They're so nice when you do pull them and you're finally just sitting there like, what do I do with 48 mana? Here you go. You Genesis Wave and play your whole deck. That's pretty much what you're about to do.
hope you don't die.
Yeah, try not to die, but
Yeah, that's what a lot of times people with Genesis Wave are like, wait
wait a minute.
I don't have that many cards to draw.
That is actually how I died recently to the Honorable Sensei. He was like, go ahead, Beau. Draw those cards. And I was like, wait a minute. No, that's too much. And the cow exploded.
Yeah. He was so close to not dying, and then I made him mill 3 cards. And then,
That's all it took.
how many cards left in your library?
Wait, 1. Oh, mill that. Oh, okay, I got, I think, 2 left. Mill those. No! Mill 1 more, and
He made a Mondo burger out of Beau and
I did.
exploded.
I was like, oh, this is going to be delicious. And someone was like, he ate the entire Blue Ridge Mountain.
And we pumped it full of steroids.
Wait, what? And then I exploded. Now, I bet you're asking, this is a land deck and lands matter. And we're trying to figure out, the best solution here. So we're going to keep this brief and simple. Run any fetch. Any fetch combined with Bonny is reusable. You don't even need anything fancy for this deck. Just run fetches. Evolving Wild and Terramorphic Expanse are incredible. You probably have 10 of them. And if you don't, quit lying. You have 10 of them.
I used to have 10 of them.
You got rid of your chaff, so maybe you don't. No, you own enough decks that you probably still have 10 of them.
I think I have like 2.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty good about your land base, though.
I'm getting rid of these terrible lands.
So, besides the basic fetch and the basic, mana fixing, Honorable, what is, in your opinion, one of the top?
Field of the Dead. Play it. You thought this was Simic? No.
It's a zombie deck.
It's a
Psych.
zombie deck. Psych. I got 7 lands. Please put the snow lands. Please.
Oh, because they're a unique name.
Yeah, they have different names.
Man, I did not know that. That is a good trick.
Yeah, see? Look, lacking.
Oh man, just for those of you at home that do not know, there are snow everything. So there's a snow forest and a snow plains.
One of your forests and one of your islands.
Yep.
Get some Sharpie and then put snow right next to forest. Can they stop you? No.
Put a snowman on it.
It's
It's a frosty.
Frosty.
Draw a Wendy's logo.
Gucci man.
Gucci. What does Field of the Dead do?
It comes into play tapped. It taps for a wing ding. So if you have any Eldrazi stuff, whenever Field of the Dead or another land enters a battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token.
Yeah, that is really easy to do in this deck.
This is foreshadowing.
Oh, it is. If you like what you're seeing, you like what's going on with these lands, we got something pretty coming for you. Next, I think, is a must include, also very cheap, very easy to find, Myriad Landscape. This is going to be the same concept. It's a sack land to where it comes and taps, sadly, but for 2 colorless, you can tap and sack it, search your library for up to 2 basics that share a type, and put them onto the battlefield tapped. And then you just get this back from your graveyard and repeat. This is going to be a very, very easy way to go get all of your lands.
It is very annoying to take a turn off to do this. Do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, do not wait on
Please do not wait. Even if you have to take a turn off, just go ahead, get it out the way, because every turn you'll be like, man, I need to crack this thing.
Yep, could have had to.
I got things I need to do this turn. Wait, I should have cracked it last turn. I don't have the extra mana. And next thing you know, you're cracking it on the last turn of the game, and you essentially just wasted 2 mana.
Yes.
Just go ahead, get it out the way.
Do not use this for land ETB triggers. Use it early, and you're going to go get... Because remember, Bonny is 6 mana, so we got to get to 6 as fast as possible.
Rogue's Passage kills people.
Yep.
Do it.
Make the cow unblockable, no questions asked. He slipped in through the back door somehow.
Don't know how. I don't.
This mountainous creature came, he stealthily assassinated
went
you.
to Thanos' butt just like Ant-Man does.
So, to kind of give you guys a brief overview, this is a Bonny Pall Clearcutter deck. This is a very simple, straightforward Simic lands matter. So remember, our job here is ramp as quick as possible, get 6 mana and more as soon as possible to play Bonny, swing Beau until the cows come home.
God.
He's gaining power. And that's it. Have fun and play along with this. It's not an expensive deck. There's definitely room for upgrades here. You can run, the land base can be very expensive, and there are some definitely good cards that you can put in here. You can build this a lot of different ways. You can make it more about killing lands. You do whatever you want, just base it around lands.
Don't go too crazy.
Yep.
Please play basics.
Yes.
Please. There is so much non-basic hate that is getting printed every single day. Please, in your 2-color decks, at least run 6 basics.
At least.
Don't be greedy just running 1 of each.
Yeah, agreed. Well, guys, I am the vicious scumbag.
And I am your honorable sensei.
And this has been the Longturnlarry podcast.
Deck Tech?
Deck Techs?